So, Attorney Miller, you mentioned tenants by entirety. Can you explain what that is and why it's important that people understand it?
I wish this was a subject taught in every high school civics class. And the idea is this, and I'll use you for example. If you and I buy a piece of real estate together, unless we have an agreement that states otherwise, the law will assume you own 50% and I own 50%. And so we own this piece of real estate together, and then I'm driving my car down the road and I get into a big accident and I get a huge lawsuit, and let's say I get a huge judgment against me and I can't pay it. So what would happen is my creditors would come looking for what assets that I have. And when they find this piece of real estate you and I own, they say, oh, this is something I can seize and use it to pay off my judgment. Now, when they find this piece of real estate, what they can do is force it to be sold. And then when the proceeds come in, they can give 50% of this to you.
So they could force it. They could force the sale.
Yes.
Okay.
And they give 50% of it, the profits to you. When they do, in theory, you've not been hurt. Right? You owned 50% of this asset before we started, and at the end, you still own 50% of this asset. Right. It's just liquid now.
Right. And it may not be the most opportune time. You may not have wanted to sell it.
Right. Okay. So that on the other hand, that's like tenancy in common. That's just how you own real estate. And now let's assume you and I were married, and we purchased this real estate together. The law will assume as you, as my wife, own 100% of this property. And I, as your husband, also own 100% of this property. You see the difference there. Before it was 50-50, now it's 100 to each. So when I go and then get into a big accident, there's a judgment against me, and they come and find this piece of real estate, there is no part of this real estate that they could keep that wouldn't hurt you as the innocent spouse. Okay? So the idea there is that the law protects a joint asset to the extent that an innocent spouse is named in the asset. That's called tenancy by entirety. You can own real estate by tenancy.
And that's only if you're married.
That's only if you're married. Okay. So if two individuals, it doesn't happen. But the reason why this is important is because when you buy real estate or have a bank account or stock account, whatever you want to do that you want to protect, if you're married, you want to have both the husband and wife's name on them. So therefore, if one of the other spouse gets in trouble, and they have a judgment against them, and they go to collect, they can't get anything that has both names on it because all they have to do is a judgment against one of us.
This can apply to more than just real estate?
Yes, anything you can, any financial account as well as real estate. So you can own a bank account jointly, you can own a stock and investment account jointly as well.